Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 6, episode 4, and today I thought we had the brilliant opportunity to do something slightly different, which is to go on a little bit of a throwback journey, turn back the clocks, as we face Vanarama National League Southside Bath City in the first round of the FA Cup, to reflect on just how far we've come, as we're playing against a side we were in the same league as during the first season. If we go and have a look at them at the moment, they're 7th in that league, they're doing alright, and this is what you would probably call a potential banana skin, but we just want to see a few of the different players in action, take what will probably be one of the last opportunities in this series that we have to look at one of the regional leagues, and to really appreciate the standard of football we're playing most weeks now. I've had a few grumpy moments over the last few months, so I'm hoping this one will cheer me up. We've got to rest some players today, as there are a few going on international duty during the week, and then on Tuesday we've got a crucial game in the Checkatrade Trophy. Normally we've wrapped up qualification after a couple of games, but this time we have to beat Cheltenham to get through. So we're going to play a few of the bigger players in that one, and hopefully that'll do a job for us. But we're not guaranteed anything yet, so we need to be very careful. But before we go and do that, let's reflect on what's been a really solid start to the season. We've only lost one of our 17 league games. We have probably drawn a few too many for my liking, but as you can see, we're up in second in the league, and we're certainly more equipped for promotion this season than we were in the previous one. Owen Jack's reached double figures for the season, Reece Williams is flying, Adam Lewis is doing well, having been given a chance in the first team, the only man we've got in both series, and season 6 seems to be doing something special to him. Rowan McDonald has a good pass completion rate, but we are picking up a few more cards than normal, which is starting to concern me slightly. But again, very similar to yesterday's episode from our other series, The Head Coach, I wanted to talk about the work we've done over the summer, particularly in terms of defending set pieces and in terms of making a more solid formation. We have got the best goal record conceded in the division. We are the best team at the back, which is something that has harmed us so often in the last few years, as we've been in mid-table for that and often run away in the scoring charts. We're a little bit lower on that one, but we're doing a decent job really. The only one that is concerning me is no one's got 2 red cards this season yet, aside from us. We've still got only the 18th highest attendance in the league, and that is partly just because we haven't been able to expand. Although against some of the smaller teams we're still not selling out, there's a lot of the big ones where I'm sure we could get more than 6,200 in. So if we can get promoted this season, just get over the line, we can start to work to our 10-year plan, get the stadium plans underway, and then just build a side for the next 4 years to try and make it to the Premier League in the new ground. But to get to the Championship, we've got to get results in this league this year, and that's exactly what we've been doing, so let's go and have a look at them. You were last with me for the home game against Tottenham, our biggest game of the series so far, which was in the Carabao Cup. We lost that one 2-0, obviously it was a sellout, and since then we've played quite a few games, starting with the side that we're managing in our other series, Barnsley away from home. We won 1-0 in this one, David Crawford again popping up with a crucial goal. 3 days later we played at home to Mansfield in the league, a disappointing draw, and we were glad just to hang on in the end. We've really got that defensive steel about us now though, and that really helped us across the line in this one. Away to Burton we won 4-2, we played so well in this game. Lameka, you may remember, who scored for Burton, he was on loan here one season. We got him in the second half of the year, it might have been when we came up from League 2, but he never even made an appearance. Owen Jack got a brace, with Williams and McDonald scoring as well. Before our only defeat since the last episode in the Checkatrade Trophy, Broja with a late goal, and we had an onslaught towards the end, but it was a bit too late. Since then it's 5 unbeaten with all the games in the league. 3-1 at home to Shrewsbury in League 1. Butcher, Byrne and Lewis with the goals there. It was 1-1 at half time, but we really stepped on the accelerator in the second half. And then a 1-1 draw away to Cheltenham with Matt Butcher getting a fairly late equaliser there. At home to Maidstone we won 1-0. Obviously the side that have come through the leagues with us, they still play a narrow 4-3-3, which I find it really hard to defend against, but we got a clean sheet, which is perhaps one of our biggest achievements of the series. Jack Stacey scored the goal in that one from the right wing, and we're really happy with how that went. We then drew 1 all the way to Scunthorpe, Owen Jack equalising late on again. We dominated the first half, Colclough got a goal out of nowhere, and after a few shaky minutes, we got back on track with Owen Jack. And then in the last game at home to Fleetwood, we won 4-0 at home with 4 different scorers. Lewis, Byrne, Butcher and that man Crawford again with the goals. The only thing David Crawford's struggling with is his natural fitness. It is slightly improved improving, but for the second time this year we've had to send him on a week's holiday because he's really not coping very well. If we have 2 games in a week, his fitness goes down to the 70s when the next match is around. It says there he's moaning about not being rested for matches, but we only sent him on holiday after the last one, so I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but hopefully he'll be happy once he doesn't play in the next 2. We are trying to address the issue. We've got him working in training on endurance, so that's the work rate and the stamina there, and I'm hoping if those 2 go up, so will the natural fitness in time. We've really got to get him working hard. That's probably the only thing he lacks at the moment. As a youngster though, he's just 18 years of age, and he's come straight from Northern Ireland into League One, scoring at a rate of 1 in 3, and with an average rating of over 7 and a contribution to 9 goals in 16 games. I think we might be asking a bit much of him if we want any more than that. But with Moncur back to fitness and young Ronan Darcy doing well, we've got a chance to play our other 2 playmakers this week and give them the opportunity to impress when David Crawford's not available. So we do play this game against Bath today, and then hopefully when we come back next time, we'll have got through in the Checkatrade Trophy and perhaps even have a big 3rd round tie to look forward to in the Cup. So if we go back to the league table very briefly, you can see where all of the action leaves us. Owen Jackson, the top 3 scorers of the league. Rhys Williams, one of the best performers. And we're up in 2nd place, just 2 points behind Charlton Athletic. We're looking really solid so far, although that's very close between all of the top 7, and it could be a problem later in the year. The one thing we have noticed at the bottom is the 4 teams seem to be cut adrift already. I'm not sure if Pompey can change that, as they won this league a few years ago. What would have been season 1 for us in game, so it's a little bit surprising to see them back down in League 1 and struggling that much, but I'm sure they've got the ability to get out of it. But it's all about the FA Cup today. We're going back to our roots. It's almost going to be like you're watching season 1 again, except hopefully I'm not quite as bad at commentating now. We're in strong form in our last 5 games and are heavy favourites as you'd expect, and we've got a few players lacking match fitness who are going to get their chance to shine today. We're sticking with the same formation, resisting the temptation to go 2 up front, mainly because I want to get some minutes into these 2 sub-attacking midfielders and make sure that they're able to help when Crawford's struggling for fitness. So Ian Brunt's in goal. He's been our regular cup keeper for the last 18 months. We've got Facey and McCabe as fullbacks, with Simiyu and Davis in the middle. Richards and Makuma central midfield will change their roles when we get into the game, and then Chapman's over on the left-hand side. He's not been able to play many games in the first team recently, as Adam Lewis has taken charge of that position. We've got Elliot List on the right, and then Ronan Darcy in behind James Collins, with Broder and Moncur planning to play in midweek due to the international duties for Owen Jack and David Crawford. As well as those 2, we've got an assortment on the bench. A few of the younger players, the likes of Greg Weir, and then Jack Clark just coming back from his long injury, and then some real heavy hitters if need be. The captain Byrne at the back if there's a bit of an aerial onslaught against a lower league side, and then 2 quick wingers who can really make a difference for us at this level. But hopefully with the side we've got out today, we can get some experience into some of these young legs and also try and avoid any banana skins in the process. I'm at home so I'm not too worried, but we certainly wouldn't like a replay. Let's get into the match. Loads of players struggling for fitness, but hopefully that won't be a problem. Bath playing a very unique formation. You don't often see that anywhere in football, let alone here. The 4-1-3-1-1, and let's just see if it works for them. Hopefully it will be too much and we can just focus on our game. If we go to the tactics, we said we were going to change some roles. McComb likes to be a central midfielder on attack. We want to get players forward into the box. Richards will get a chance to be a deep line playmaker, which is something he really likes to do as well. We'll leave the rest as it is for now, and I'm really happy to give James Collins a chance. Only made 1 start so far this season. 2, got 1 in the Checkatrade Trophy as well. But he really deserves more football than he's getting. We were planning to play 2 up front, and then after that first day of the season we went back to 1. If we hadn't loaned Broder, he would have been our first choice backup, and I'm sure have done just as well. But a hard worker and a determined player here is surely going to be useful against the lower league side. Let's get into the match and hope we can dominate as much as we're intending to. Chapman's got the ball from the kick-off on the left, loses it immediately and it's a long ball over the top, and why we're seeing Davis slowly chase a ball back I have no idea. The highlight ends as soon as he gets it, a bit of a weird one that. McCabe wins the ball from a throw-in, still only a minute gone. Darcy inside to McComb, back to Ronan Darcy again. He was waiting for the overlap which eventually came from Chapman, delivers towards List but is headed away and it's further flicked on, but McComb will chase it back. Simiyu on halfway, out to the left hand side to Chapman. He tries to beat a man but is challenged again, and the right back should get there for Bath and eventually clear. It's a cross goal though, and only as far as Simiu again. He finds Elliot List 25 yards out, time to go for a shot, but it's just over the bar and it's still 0-0, but very good signs from us early on. 10 minutes in now, McComb in the middle out to List. List choking on his man on the right hand side, delivers to the front post, headed as far as McComb, but his shot deflects off Collins and is eventually cleared by Bath out for a throw. Still no breakthrough, but we're doing plenty of the attacking. I just saw at the bottom of the screen, Billericay had gone 1-0 up in their cup game, and it was Robert Humphries, our old striker, so hopefully his value keeps going up and we're able to get a good fee for his 50% sell-on. But we've got the ball patiently at the back again. Bath will probably be happy with this. The quarter of the game gone and they've only conceded one shot on target. List is charging down the right this time though. Collins is in the middle, but the cross is poor again. The delivery's really not been good so far, and I'm glad that we've got the two wingers on the bench. McCabe gets the ball on the edge though, goes for the shot and it's deflected behind. Another corner as we continue to apply the pressure. Chapman will take it, an out-swinging corner to Davis at the back post. Simiu flicked it on. I don't know what he was trying to do there, but he put it wide at the other post and it remains goalless after half an hour. We've got a long throw on the left with McCabe though. Darcy flicks it on, hits the crossbar and over, and it's just not going to be our day at the moment, is it? We cannot find the breakthrough, and unfortunately it looks like Bath might make it to half time. Davis with a header from a corner this time, another chance from a set piece which is headed over, and we haven't really created that much from open play, largely due to the poor delivery from the wide men. It's a free kick for Bath. This would be disastrous. Back to Benz on the edge of the box. Facey with the block. One of the best efforts of the match, that. Watts finds Benz again, who caused trouble with that initial shot. He gets it to Blake, and now Pardini. He's got the ball on the right for Bath, being forced backwards, and thankfully the highlight ends. We avoid the potential disaster on the stroke of half time, but at the break it's 0-0, and we've not looked like taking our chances. We're going to go and talk to the lads. We're going to tell them it's more than disappointing, Shaw Taylor. We're going to be aggressive and hope they're as fired up as they should be. 5 minutes gone in the second half and we've not seen any further action in the attacking zones. Reese with a long goal kick for Bath. He goes up towards our left back McCabe. Heads it as far as McComb and now Darcy. He's got time to switch it. List is out there. It's a lovely ball in the end and Elliot List comes forward. Finds Chapman on the other side of the area. Into Collins and the shot's blocked, and then Darcy gives away a stupid foul. Collins hasn't had the best game, so it might be time for Armando Broja soon. Simiu gets it down the right hand side to List. He tries to deliver. How many times does he want to hit that first man? Chapman on the edge of the box into the area, unopposed, but the shot's blocked, and then Watts brings it away. They've had a really good defensive shape, and that strange midfield shape seems to be working out for them, although we've got another throw now with Facey. List gets it back to John Richards. Great save by the Bath keeper. It's behind for a corner and we're going to make the changes. Broja's going to come on for Collins. He'll go up as a target man, get right on the toes of the last defender. Darcy's not had the best game and he's apprehensive, which we don't like. The experienced Moncur on for him, and we're saving Greg Weir for now in case we need to bring him on in midfield. Chapman's got a knock, 20 minutes to go. We don't like to see that. I don't know who we can bring on. I normally bring Weir, but I don't think this is the right game. So Lewis will come on for him as we look to avoid an embarrassing replay. 20 minutes to go, and hopefully the first choice left winger can make a difference. It's a throw on the left for Bath. We've told the lads to show some passion. If we concede from here, I'll be absolutely devastated. They're 3 leagues below, and they've had another easy shot on target, which Ian Brunt's had to make a great save from. We're going to go attacking. There's only 15 left, and we really need to get a goal here. Facey goes inside to McComb. He finds George Moncur. Back to McComb again. Now McCabe on the left. Lewis is overlapping into the middle. Deflects to List. Moncur back to Richards. Facey. They're all camped out in the box. Only the 2 centre-halves are back. Everyone else is up there, but Lewis gives it away and Pardini clears it down the line. There's no one up there. They're on to clinging on territory already. Broja flicks on the long ball to Moncur. He's hit the post and List on the rebound. He's just beaten to it by the defender. Brilliant effort by Moncur, but it's cleared away eventually. List gets the long throw into Broja. Oh, that's unbelievable. From 6 yards, it's a bullet header and another good save by the keeper. How are we not ahead in this game? And how are Bath nearly ahead there? That's probably the most clear-cut chance chance of the match, and Ian Brunt's had to make a brilliant save. I have no idea what's happening today. The only word that explains it is arrogance. Complacency of the highest order, and I am going to be digging into these boys. Any of those who want to moan about why they're not in the first 11, I'll come and happily tell you after this one. I'll just point you back to the DVD of the game. Blake gets the ball in the middle. It's Bath dominating the possession, if anything. We need to go back to positive because attacking's not working for us. Wrench has the ball in the middle for them, but thankfully the highlight ended. They've got another goal kick with Reese though. I'm getting quite concerned about this, but McCabe clears the header as far as McComb. Monker's lost out, but it's back to McComb again. He finds Lewis. Lewis charging down the left, beats a man. There's the first team quality into Broja, and he's missed another one. Heads it over the bar, an easier chance to score. Adam Lewis has made a brilliant difference, but Broja's finishing's been shocking. We're into stoppage time. It's a long throw for McCabe. One of the last chances we're going to get. Broja knocks it back to Lewis and his shot's blocked. Richards has got it 30 yards out to McCabe on the left side of the area. Pardini wins it off him, the right back for Bath, and hoofs it out for a throw on the other side. Facey throws it in. Goes as far as Richards. Back out to Facey again. A chance to deliver. Cuts it inside to Elliot List. And Reese makes the save again. And it's behind for yet another corner. 11 shots on target. 11 off. 27 shots to 4 and 2 hitting the woodwork. But crucially no clear-cut chances as we haven't really carved them open. Most have been from set pieces and we haven't taken them, but Monker's got a last chance here, delivers to Broja. What a scrappy goal, but we'll take it. The first shot again he hit straight at the keeper and the rebound just seemed to hit him as it slid into the empty net. George Monker with that little bit of quality though, and we've managed to nick it 1-0 just before the end of the game. It's cruel on Bath and this episode hasn't turned out the way I intended. It's ended up being a really scrappy encounter and we've been lucky to win it in the end. Lewis has a shot over the bar and it's going to be full time any second, but we've really been shown up today and our backup side may not be quite as good as we think. Facey on the right though, can we put a bit of gloss on it? We can't as it's cleared away as far as Ben's. It's out for a throw in on the right hand side and we're just about going to scrape through this in the first 90. A wonderful chance for us to get into the third round. We've got one more tie to go and then we could be facing the big boys again. A disappointing performance, terrible in front of goal, but we've just about done enough and I do feel a bit for Bath. The opposition we used to have in the first year back in the regional leagues, and thankfully we've managed to get away from that as you can see how hard they make it. We've told them it wasn't good enough and they've got to be better than that. Most of them are fired up. McCabe got man of the match. He's one of the men that will miss out on the Checkatrade Trophy game. He's out, unfortunately, on international duty. We'll look at what the media have said about the game. And then don't forget, before the end of this episode, we will have the second round FA Cup draw as well. Just to see if we can get a comfortable passage to the big boys. 20 grand into the bank balance. A win which is the most important thing. Ellis Chapman's injured, but it's only a week. Bristol Rovers have apparently sacked their manager. We mentioned this before. Maurizio Sarri's the favourite. I have no idea what's going on there. He's been at West Ham the last 2 years. I don't know what's going on. That's absolutely crazy. A question from the media. We've been linked with the Bristol City job. That's interesting. We're not going to be taking that. We won't make any comments. We'll be back in a moment for the second round draw for the FA Cup and then we'll polish off the episode by looking at when we'll next be back and trying to plan around the January transfer window. We haven't got to the FA Cup draw yet, but this is a good point to mention as well. Our youth and training facility upgrades have been completed, so let's see what that does for the club. We've invested $2.25 million into them, so I'm hoping they'll make a bit of a difference. The club reputation's up to 2 stars actually, which is good. If we go to the facilities, oh, that's good. Good training facilities and adequate youth facilities, average coaching and above average recruitment. We are really coming on leaps and bounds now. Just the stadium to go if we can get promoted, but a nice little side note for this episode. We'll be back in a minute as planned for the FA Cup draw. Right, we love these moments. There's nothing better than a draw for the FA Cup, so let's get in and experience it in full. We're hoping for a really lower league side at home, just like we had with Bath, so at the very worst we can't get beaten. Let's go and draw the teams and stop off when we get to Torquay. We got Boreham Wood v Notts County, Bradford City we'd like to avoid at all costs, the same for Exeter away to be honest, and Plymouth away, we'd like to avoid all of those boys. Wealdstone away we'd take, but we haven't managed to get that one. Doncaster away, definitely don't want that. Away to Bolton would be a disaster, as would away to Cambridge. That's a great tie actually, Maidstone away at Cambridge. That'd certainly be one of the TV ones in real life. Dover are at home, a side we managed in FM18 of course. If we got them that would be quite a nice reunion, but it's not, it's Crewe, our FIFA 19 side. So there's a few cross references for us. Colchester away we'd like to avoid. Thankfully we have. The same for Swindon. They've got Billericay, that's a big game. Lincoln at home, we don't want that. Gillingham away, we don't want to be going there. Yeovil or Burton we'd like to avoid. We're avoiding all of them so far, but there's not many teams left. Peterborough away we don't want either. Bury have got them. Northampton away wouldn't be ideal. They've drawn Oxford. Mansfield or Oxford City. We're assuming Mansfield will get through, so we don't want to face them either. Thankfully that's Barnsley, which could be a really big League One clash. There aren't many small teams left actually, which is a bit of a concern for me. So the priority is now getting a home draw. Southend or Barrow come out first. Shrewsbury are going there. Sheffield Wednesday away, the League 2 side now. I wonder how they're getting on actually. They were bottom last season. They're up in third place, so they seem to have recovered somewhat. They've still got players on 10 grand a week, and it's Alex Mowat actually who features at Barnsley in our other save. Let's see if we can avoid them. That's Salford in that one. Are we at home? We are. We face the last team in the draw, which is Barnet or Tranmere, both in League 2 at present, and most importantly we've got the home tie we need. So in an ideal world that'll be a safe passage through to the third round, and then hopefully we'll have another big cup run we can talk about. We've already had our biggest game of the series so far this year against Tottenham. What a brilliant campaign it would be if we could top it twice in the same season, as well as going on to get promotion from League One. So that's a great draw for us, but we're not going to count our chickens just yet, as we've seen how hard it can be against Bath in the last game. Let's go and have a quick look at the schedule for when we might next be back. Obviously the game that takes my eye as a fan is the Luton one away from home, but I think they're a lower mid-table side, which probably doesn't make it worthwhile. They're exactly in the middle of the table, so unless that changes it's probably not worth showing. Around the late December and early January, I think we found the game. Our rivals Plymouth away from home on New Year's Day. They're up in 8th place at the moment. That could be an absolute cracker. And then before that, Colchester at home. They're in 4th as well. So definitely one of those games, maybe even both if we're feeling lucky. And then we'll obviously discuss our plans for the January window while we're in the middle of those games. But if you did enjoy this episode, please put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of our FA Cup draw and our shocking performance against Bath City. Was it as bad as I'm making out, or was I just expecting a bit too much from our backup side? We haven't got lots of wiggle room, but where do you think we could do with strengthening in January? We've got a lot of transfer budget left, but we don't really want to increase the wage bill too much. Although I'm interested to know your thoughts on where you think our weakness is in the side. Especially looking at the backup team there against the side 3 leagues below us, where do we need to increase our squad depth and make ourselves better replacements for the first team? Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories, this one part of the furniture with Torquay United, as well as our other series The Head Coach, where as we've mentioned a couple of times we're currently with Barnsley and doing well in season 6 there too. We've got Adam Lewis over in that one as well, so go and say hello to him in an alternate universe. There's also weekly content from our FIFA 19 lower league career with Crewe Alexandra. The latest episode of that was out on Friday at 4:30. But a massive thanks for watching and following along with the series as always, and we'll see you next time for a massive local derby.